Platinum people. What is going on? Where's my live stream link? I'll be with you guys in 2 months. Okay, you guys know the drill. You know how it is. I should really just get my pre-stream tab up first, but I'm too lazy to do that, so I ain't gonna. So just give me a second, and I'll be right with you. Come on, stream tab, where you at? There we go. Okay. Okay. Hold up. Getting that community post rolled out. You guys know how it is. I don't even know why I need to reiterate this. You know how it is. Okay, bang, that's done. Where you guys at? Kim-So, or Kim-Soo rather, of course. How you doing, man? Good to see you back. You got any hot takes for me? I know you usually bring them. I don't forget that. Chelsea are a joke. Now, that's not a hot take. I'll tell you that much. I don't even want to get into that game, man, because it's just going to piss me off. I sort of already erased it from my mind, so I didn't let it affect my mood. I was just like, okay, I'm not even thinking about it. We lost. Moving on. I don't even care anymore. So I'd rather not talk about football, otherwise it's going to be reopening old wounds. But I hope you guys are doing well. I've had a pretty chill day today, kind of enjoying my... Originally, Saturday was meant to be my day off, but I ended up having to finish the videos yesterday. I know I put a community post out saying I would put the video out on Friday, but my birthday was on Friday, and then I realized, like, man, I don't want to have to spend the whole day grinding just to get this out on my birthday. So I kind of did a little bit of work on Friday, but mostly just celebrated, and then finished it on the Saturday instead. And I sort of used today as kind of my day off. Of course, I'm still doing the stream. Podcast is getting moved for tomorrow. And I'm doing a game channel video recording after this. So we've got some other shit to do. Yeah, games. It's doing well. It's doing well. I'm gonna hold my... I'm not jumping the gun on it, but we'll see. I'm gonna repackage the bulk vid and hope it picks up again. But again, if it doesn't pick up, it's whatever. I've already moved on now. That's the best thing I can do. Dana's at fault for the Jones and Aspinall situation. No, I mean, it's a money game. I think there's equal sides. That's what I'd say. What's up, Ali, man? I'm looking good. Thank you, brother. It's looking okay. Front's a little bit too short for my liking. I lose the curls, you see. See, no more curls at the front. I got to wait for them to get a little bit longer. You can see the start of them coming in right there. But it's a little bit too soon. But yeah, the sides are nice and sharp, so we're good. But to be honest with you, I might move away from the mullet next time. I don't know what I'd get. But I don't even know what hair I used to have. To be honest, it wasn't really too far removed from this anyway. I've had long hair even before. I'd always half flirted with the mullet before, so I've kind of had a similar hair for a long time. But I definitely won't go too short. But we'll see. Perm fade. I don't even know what that looks like, man. Donnie, I'm okay, man. Today I'm okay. This last time I saw you guys, I entered the age of 23. So I appreciate that. Thank you for remembering. Yeah, it's 23 on Friday. So we are now old. Leon cares, Brady. I hope so. Matua, love, man. Thank you. I'm actually looking at going to New York at some point in the future. I'd like to do some work out there, maybe do some networking. I don't know. It'd be fun to travel out there. I've been once there before, but it was like 11 years ago. So I'd like to go back this time as a nearly fully brain developed adult. Many would say otherwise, but I'd love to go back. So I appreciate the love, man. Hope life's treating you well, and hope life's treating all of you well. You know. But thank you for remembering Donnie as well. Show us an old photo. Nah, bro. I ain't gonna. You don't want to see old photos, bro. Look up the perm fade. I think I would suit it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to have short. Oh, hell no, bro. That's like broccoli fuckboy trim, man. Hell no. I mean, I used to have hair similar to that, but not the same vein, because my hair wasn't like that kind of. I would never get a perm. Fuck that. I don't need a perm, man. I like my hair. I look like a cunt if I got a perm fade, man. Fuck no. No fucking way. That ball paint on the side? Nah, just a fade, man. Just a fade. Just a standard fade. Nothing crazy. Keeping it sharp, fellas. Keeping it sharp. Islam actually ducked. Well, his manager came out, right? That's what I read. I read that his manager came out and said that Topuria doesn't deserve the fight and Makhachev won't fight him. If you're asking me, obviously I'm using the title for some maneuvers for the algorithm and that. But to be honest, if you're asking me, I think it's just promotional politics. They're trying to get more money out of it. They're trying to get extra leverage. That's what I think the game is about here. But we'll see. Yes, indeed, Wolf. Good to see you, bro. Do you think Alex had grease on him? I've just read that before I jumped on stream as well. Again, we'll never know. It's one of those things. You know, there's not. Fighters can say whatever they want. Doesn't make it true. Get the Damon Jackson cut. Are you talking about pre-hair transplant or post-hair transplant? Because pre-hair transplant, I don't know if that's the smartest maneuver. I'm going to keep it real with you, man. Someone did a hair transplant tier list. Who was that? I don't know. His one's not too bad, to be fair. I mean, that shit saved his life. He got fair fucks to him, man. His hair was diabolical, man. And that hair transplant, you know what? Fair enough. It's not perfect, but hey, it's... I have to consider it an improvement because, good lord, his old hair. I feel for that, man. Genetics cooked that, bro. Paul Craig is S tier, yeah, for sure. Paul Craig is S tier, man. His is so good. That man's life was saved by that hair transplant. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. It's good to be back. I know I wanted to apologize also as well for missing the Thursday stream. Shit just came up. I couldn't really do anything about it, so I wanted to apologize for that first and foremost. You know that's not like me. I haven't missed a stream in quite a while. I do my best to be here. But it was kind of just one of those things that was out of my hands, so I do apologize. But I wanted to make sure I was here for this one, of course. How about those two ladies getting finished back to back? Yeah, bro. Was it Cachoeira? Priscilla Cachoeira against Jose and Nunes? Holy shit. Sneaky little uppercut like that, man. I mean, it's going to put your life. If you don't see it, it's one of those shots. It's like Lawler versus Price. That's one I think that was the closest comparison you can make there. That clinch uppercut, the ones you don't see, man, just put you out like that. It might not be a big shot, but because it's coming right underneath you, you ain't looking, man. You can't see it. Range switching off, so it was a good finish. Good to see you, JVD. Always bringing that energy, man. Always bringing it. Yeah, I left my drink downstairs. Not alcoholic, of course. I don't even know. My water's empty as well. We might just have to firm it for the stream today. I've got a manky old half-finished bottle of Coke. But I got my Invisalign in, and that shit's going to stay in, so I can't be arsed. Head kick was sweet too. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of good finishes last night, but man, that main event, I just could not be arsed. Honestly, I switched it off halfway through. As I said, I mentioned on the Discord, I was there for their first fight at 286. And yeah, I was firmly not interested in that rematch because the first fight was dull as fucking dishwater, so I didn't bother. But also, yeah, cool things coming up. Will Casual's Corner, he's doing the promotional rollout for his pop-up. In UFC on the day of UFC London. I know I mentioned it on stream before, but I just want to reiterate for anyone who doesn't know or is in London for the card or is in London on the 22nd. I will be at the UFC London pop-up, Casuals Corner MMA, UFC London pop-up. I will be there. You can come chat to me, come say hi. I know there's a bunch of other creators going to be there too. So if you are around in London by a pure chance at that time, come say hello. I will be there. It's only like 15 minutes from the O2 and it's a few hours before the event. So I will be there. It'd be nice to meet some of you guys. If you're about in London, it would be cool. It would be nice. It'd be nice to do something like that, you know? Rest of the card was entertaining to watch. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's always the sleeper fight nights. I mean, it wasn't on paper that great. Unlike this UFC London card that's coming up, which is banger after banger. So many good fights on that card. And there's plenty more UK talent that should be on there. I mean, Luke Riley got a finish the other day, or yesterday, or was it even today, on the Cage Warriors card. Man. And he called his shot for the UFC, and he deserves it. How many fights in a row? He's undefeated, right? Is he 11-0 now? Or is he more than that? Yeah, he's 11-0. I mean, yeah, crazy. He's probably the best talent we got coming out. And he fights out of Next Generation in Liverpool, which is the same gym that Paddy comes out of. So, yeah, he is a problem, man. He is a problem. Fighting some legit competition, too. Like, look at these records. 9-2, 6-2, 17-11, 5-0, 10-3. Like, they're good fighters he's beating here. Like, guys with good records. Like, to do that in the sort of regional circuit is very impressive. So, I assume he'll get a shot in the UFC soon, to be honest with you, especially after that statement call out. I think he'll get his chance, man. Only top 3 card of the interesting is what? The UFC London card? Nah, you're sleeping on it, man. What are you talking about? I really hope you're not talking about the UFC London card, man. Because we're going to go through that in a little bit, because as I said, I want to do some predictions for that. I haven't actually done them yet. But there's some great fights on there. What are you talking about? I mean, Jordan Vucenic, Chris Duncan is a straight banger. Nathaniel Wood, Morgan Shari is a straight banger. Guy Herbert, Padilla is a great fight. Lonnie Kavanagh, DeSantos is an actual banger. I mean, man, Lonnie is a problem. He is going to be a problem at flyweight. Let this be known, man. I'm telling you. He will be a problem. Ilya refuses to fight Arman. Binder, I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's manager politics. I don't think. Put it this way: if Makhachev was offered that fight, I think he'd take it. When have you ever seen him duck a fight? Sign Sean Clancy Jr. I don't even know who that is. I mean, I know the name, but I haven't been keeping up. Where's he been fighting? Oh, he's the Scottish guy you were talking about. Yeah, I remember. But he's only 6-0. There, all finishes. Holy shit. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, on the Contender Series, I can see that. Harnett, good to see you again. How you doing? Good to see you back in here. UK bias? Nah, man, the card's banger. I mean, if you're talking about Lonnie Kavanagh, then yeah, sure. But I just think he's very good, man. Okay, I'm slightly freaking out because my Google Chrome has just bricked itself. I don't know why. There we go. No, I mean, if you're asking me, I think Lonnie Kavanagh's legit as hell. I mean, who did he beat in his UFC debut? He got a knockout, a stone cold KO at flyweight. Keep in mind, on the Contender Series, and then he beat a really legit guy on his UFC debut. A guy with a lot of hype around him. So, and now he's fighting Felipe Dos Santos. For those two, for your first two UFC fights, they're legit, and I think he beats Dos Santos soundly. But we'll go through the card. Fuck it, let's do it. I mean, we'll start from the bottom. Guram Kutateladze's opening the card. I didn't even know he was fighting. What the fuck? Did he get added to it recently? Am I crazy? Have I just missed that? What are we doing here? Holy shit. What the hell? Fair enough. I mean, Guram Kutateladze, Cal Fernandez, that's a banger to open it up. Nathan Fletcher, Callan Loughran, I really don't rate, but Nathan Fletcher coming off a submission win. Going to go with him. And Kutateladze, I'm going to pick as well. I'm going to go with him by TKO. Nathan Fletcher, I'll go with the sub as well. Sean O'Bannon, Pooja Tomar, the only other Indian fighter on the roster outside of the one and only Anshul Jubilee. I don't think Sean O'Bannon is particularly great. I think she's very one-dimensional. She reminds me a lot of Shara Bullet in the way she fights. Very one-dimensional, too many kicks, not enough punches. That's my biggest criticism of him, and it's my biggest criticism of her. But regardless, I actually think she's going to win this fight. I'm going to go with her by decision. Leroy Duncan versus Puliaev. Who the fuck is this guy? I didn't even have a picture. He's 1-0. Who is this motherfucker? Andrei Pulev. I have no idea, but I like Chris Leroy Duncan. He's the personification of violence, if you're asking me. So I'm going to go with CLD. I know he got whooped by Robocop in his last fight, but I like him a lot. So Martin Topuria versus Mick Parkin. Big Mick all day. All day I'm going Big Mick. Give me that Mick Parkin TKO. Lonnie, I'm going to go with a second round knockout. Actually, no, submission. I'm going to go with a submission. I think Lonnie's going to really show off his grappling game here against Felipe. So I'm going to go with a submission win for him. Jai versus Padilla. I want Jai to get back in the win column. Who did Padilla fight in his last fight? He's got some good experience. 15-6. Coming for 2 straight wins. I mean, both finishes. I don't know. Tough one for Jai. He always gets tough fights, man. When have you ever seen that guy in an easy fight? Like, straight up. I just haven't. I mean... Chris Duncan will absolutely wreck Jordan Vucenic. Kovac, yeah, I think you are, because he's coming up on the card, and I will definitely lean towards Vucenic. In fact, didn't he fight Kutateladze in his debut? And he narrowly lost, right? Yeah, he narrowly lost to Kutateladze, when he had a good account of himself. But Nathaniel Wood, Morgan Shari, that's got fight of the night all over it, along with the Lonnie Kavanagh fight. But Nathaniel, of course, I'm going to back him. But Morgan Shari is very good. He's very good too. It's a tough fight for both guys. Very evenly matched. Good matchmaking. I'm going to have to go with Nathaniel, man. Nathaniel by decision, I think. 2 rounds to 1. Very sad about the Lonnie fights, as I love Felipe. Yeah, I know, man. I'm kind of the same. I'm a big Felipe Dos Santos fan. He's like a little mini Charles Oliveira. And does he fight? I'm pretty sure he fights actually the box as well, right? I could be wrong. He definitely looks like he does. I'll put it that way. I can't find it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure he does. But yeah, that's a great fight. Jordan Vucenic, as I said, Chris Duncan. I think Vucenic is just going to be quicker to the punch in that one, to be honest with you. So I'm going to have to go with Jordan there. He'll get in the win column. He's got a crazy amount of tats. Molly McCann is getting a short notice replacement fight against someone I have no idea who that is, but I'm going to pick her. She always does well on London cards, generally speaking, apart from that horrendous armbar to Julia Soliarenko a few years ago. But I'm going to go with Molly McCann. Big fan of hers, always have been. And I actually think her grappling is starting to improve quite well. I mean, she had a really good armbar a few fights ago. I know she's coming off that loss to Bruna Brazil, but she's a good contender, and she always brings it. She's an entertaining women's fighter. That you cannot deny. Best narrator on MMA YouTube. George, thank you very much, my friend. That means a lot. I'm glad you think so. I do work hard, and, you know, to be honest with that, it's just a lot of practice, man. I mean, if you go watch my old videos, they're terrible, bro. They're terrible. I say this all the time. Actually, you probably won't be able to watch most of them because I had to private and delete quite a lot of them. But I mean, even my old work that is still up, it's nowhere near as good as the stuff I've made now. So it just comes with hard work and practice, but I appreciate it. And about the intro is good. I try to make them to that level, so thank you. So thank you. In fact, I actually really struggled. I'll continue with the predictions in a minute, but I did want to talk about that because I really struggled to put the Dana White intro together. I hope it turned out okay. What did you think of the intro for the Dana White video? If you have watched it, of course. If you haven't, please go check it out. But I would love your opinions on that because I really struggled. It really didn't come together for me, like until near the end. I didn't finish it until the end, like right near the end of the sort of work week. I couldn't really get it done. It was struggling to come together. And eventually I think I figured it out. So, but I would like your opinions on it. If there's anything you thought was good, could be better, I'm always appreciative. And actually, speaking on your opinions and what I want from you guys, I would really, really, really love some ideas. I need video ideas. I know I ask quite a lot, but I don't have one pending for tomorrow to start the work week tomorrow. So if you guys have anything, please hit me up with them. I need them. The man who beat Felipe, Andre Lima, just won by sub last night. I love unranked flyweights. Yeah, I know, man. They're always good. Not a fan of Meatball. She's a bit of a melt. Nah, I like her, though. She's entertaining. She's like Marmite. Same with Paddy. But Ali, I agree as well. Do I think that Islam versus Justin is in the making? It's definitely possible. Yeah. I've heard a lot of fleeting rumors, but we know how this game is. It's money over principle. Watched the Dana White video twice. Why, bro? But thank you. Just got KO'd by Topuria in the UFC game, I can only presume. Honestly, I got to UFC at 300. Now I'm a hardcore. You helped me bring me into the sport. I'm glad, man, because as I said, I say this. Someone mentioned that in my comment section. I don't know if that was you. But someone said something along those lines, and you know, I just remember being in that position and trying to get into the sport and using YouTube and content creators on YouTube to get into the sport and learn about the UFC and MMA's history. You know, because it's obviously very volatile sport and a lot happens, so it's very hard to keep track of and get into, especially if I'm a fan who's not from the US. It's a lot harder to approach, and some of you guys will know that. So, you know, I'm glad I can pay that forward in some capacity. So, thank you. History of UK MMA. I've considered doing that. I've had that written down for a while actually, but I've never bitten the bullet on it. I might do that. It's a good idea. I might do that That's a good idea to do it per country. Per country, maybe. I don't know. I'll consider it. That's not a bad idea. It would be one of those things where I'd have to test it out once to see how it would perform, and then maybe I could start to move to do it as a series. I was in the bath and I couldn't be asked to find another video, so I just hit replay. It's a well-made video, start to finish. It's good. It's not my best work, in my opinion. I think the intro was pretty good. I think I'm glad that worked out well. But again, it wasn't as cinematic as my like Volkanovski video or some of my docu stuff. But it was never gonna be. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I can't do these big grand fight sequences. It was never going to be like that. It's a different style. You guys know how it is. I sort of have those two style of videos where I have those fighter documentaries where I go really cinematic and I have these really epic sequences, right? And I also have these deep dive videos, which are much more, I wouldn't say more theatrical, but they're much more dark, psychological, and a bit more functional as well, I think is the word. But yeah, no, I know, Ali. I know some of you. I know I retreaded a lot of old topics. But there was the Trump stuff I really wanted to cover because I never did that in my original video. In my Dana White iceberg, for example, I never did that, and I didn't go as in depth in the iceberg video. Obviously, the sacrifice was I couldn't go in depth on some of those topics, and I really wanted to do that and really explore the sort of psychological side, which I don't think I got to do with the iceberg video as much. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know some of you guys probably would have seen it before. Again, I have to also keep in mind, I have to think of YouTube not just within the people who've seen my content before, but also people who haven't. So it goes both ways. How can anyone make Dana Potato Head White look cinematic? Good point. Good point. Well, I mean, it fundamentally comes down to the fact he's not a fighter. So I can't have those grand fight sequences because he's not stepping into the octagon, is he? Was there a way that you could have held out the bulk vid until like the week of 314? So you are half right. I wish I did, but not within a week. I wish I did put it out later, as in like maybe now or in a week's time, because then you give it time to brew. I did it too early. That's the mistake I made. But also, I also put the ad read too early too. That's another thing. But besides the point. But if you do it a week early, the fact is, if Volkanovski lost, for example, I'm gambling on that. Usually, what happens is, even win or lose, a lot of times what happens is after they fight, the video sort of traffic tends to die down. So by doing it earlier, I give it a bit more shelf life. But one of the mistakes I made with the Volkanovski video was putting it out too early. I gave it too much time and it didn't pick up. So, but equally, there were some mistakes I made in the video. I think I could have spent less time on his early life. I realized that afterwards. I think maybe, I didn't spend a huge amount of time, I don't think that was maybe the biggest problem, but there was just some little mistakes I could have made. But it was always going to be like that. I realized that now because that was my first big foray into a 40 plus minute documentary. So pacing was a new challenge for me in that regard, doing a longer video. Obviously, I had an ad read to put in there, which I made a mistake with its placement. Placed it too early, so I drew a lot of people away, which killed the retention a little bit. So there's a lot of little factors that go into, making a video perform well. But I know for next time, the great thing about mistakes is you can learn from them, of course. So we keep moving. History of MMA part, the roots where you go over the ancient arts and the beginning of combat sports. Wow, George, I mean, that is crazy. To the beginning of UFC, part 2, beginning of the UFC, part 3, 2010s, part 4, COVID and present. I like that. I have done a history of the UFC video before since the start of MMA, or rather the UFC actually. But I haven't gone further back than that. So that might be an idea down the line for sure. I like that. Do you think that Lopez has a chance to beat Volk? Absolutely, man. He could definitely finish him early. In fact, don't be surprised if it happens. I don't want it to. Best believe I'm a huge Volkanovski fan. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. And I very much want him to get the belt back, even if it's for a brief time. But do not rule out Diego Lopez. He has power and he is very much, he's quick to the punch. He's very quick to the punch. And I don't know if Volkanovski will be able to react to that in time. We'll see. How COVID completely changed the history of the UFC. I really like that. Yeah, James, you're right. I agree. I very much like that title. I'm actually going to write that down. That's a good idea. In fact, I was thinking about doing like a sort of downfall of the UFC video because I don't know if you saw the recent pay-per-view news about pay-per-views being down, the UFC looking to get rid of their deal with ESPN, stuff like that. I don't know. I like the idea. Maybe I wouldn't frame it around COVID, but I'll just do as a broader concept video, right? The decline of the UFC. I know it's been done before, but I think there's a lot of new stuff that's come out recently, which could give, and with my own unique spin and how I tell my stories, I think I could do a good job. I like that as a working title, though. I like maybe the future of the UFC. Thoughts on Nugaze's weird eye rubbing tick? I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. But Lopez, I know what Lopez means. It's like Poirier with the hair flick or the hair wipe. Everyone the short pull. It's just the reset, isn't it? Fighters use it to reset. Aren't they trying to make a deal with Netflix? Exactly. I would love to make that a bit of a chapter. There's a lot of stuff to do. History of different martial arts, that would be sick. I probably would if Mixed Martial Academic hadn't done a martial arts iceberg, which you can go and check out, which is like 4 hours long or some shit. So go check his stuff out. In fact, he just dropped the Topuria documentary, which is doing very well for him by all accounts. I just looked at it. Yeah, he's doing good for him. I did a Topuria documentary not that long ago, so I probably won't do another one. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I haven't truly decided. Maybe another fighter doc. Maybe not yet. I might wait. I'd like to do the Bilal video. Maybe. What do you guys reckon? Bilal video? You guys care about that? You ever make mind maps? No, honestly, man. I'll tell you what I do. I'm looking at my other monitor now. I know you can't see it, but I go onto the YouTube homepage and I basically just scroll. I scroll and I scroll and I scroll. I look at title frames or framings of titles and formats, and I don't directly copy them, but I will write down some ones I like and I'll start merging together my own. As a result of that, I like to look at thumbnails I like. I bookmark certain ones. Little things like that. It's just for inspiration. It's not for any direct copying. I don't like doing that particularly. But sometimes that works. Like the Faces of Dana White video, that's a direct thumbnail sort of form, thumbnail and title format, which I've taken from other people. But of course, I've made them myself, and obviously it's completely original content. So that's sort of lifting ideas in a healthy way, not directly plagiarizing. So, I'm always looking for ideas, but I'm kind of stumped right now. So I do appreciate these. These are really good, actually, guys. Thank you. Different ones like research Turkish mud wrestling. I might do in the future. Yeah. When's the next pod coming out? Yeah, JVD. Sorry, I mentioned it earlier just before you jumped on. We are recording it tomorrow just due to scheduling thing with Will. He's really busy with the pop-up, so we couldn't really do it today. And to be honest, that worked better for me today anyway. I was kind of burnt out from all the work I've been doing over the last week. I was really stressing to get that video out yesterday, so but we're doing it tomorrow, so it'll be out tomorrow. So I do apologize for that, but I hope you enjoyed the in-studio episode. That was a lot of fun. So that was really cool. If you haven't checked that out, guys, go and give it a listen. But we will do our best to get it out tomorrow for you. I will probably break down UFC London more in depth on there as well. Back and forth, and how it is. We get it done. So I do apologize for the slightly erratic scheduling over the last couple of weeks. It's all been a bit topsy-turvy. Partially my fault, partially not. It's both, goes both ways. We're busy people, so it's difficult. But we never miss a week. We always get an episode out. So sometimes the days are off, but usually we make up for it, so it's fine. Who's your favorite Ryzen unranked fighter, bro? I don't watch Ryzen, so I couldn't tell you, but I appreciate the question. Any updates on relationships? Damn, what a switch up. Nothing to report as of now. I mean, no, I mean, nothing really. Nothing remotely serious, put it that way. The minefield of a game, fellas. I'll tell you that much. Bro, I can't drink this because I got my Invisalign and it's killing me, man. It's killing me. But we're good. Any good moves this week? I actually missed training. I couldn't go. Well, I could have done if I really wanted to. But it was all about sacrificing and scheduling, man. This is how it is. So on Saturday, I really had to push to finish the video. I was working basically 6 hours for no break. With no break, I didn't stop to have lunch because I have to get this done. And by that, I usually train in the afternoon on Saturdays. But honestly, if I did training, I would have been really tired when I got back. And it's like it would have been 2 hours all in all out of my day. I just didn't have the time. I know it sounds like it's partly my fault really. I should have been in a better position to be there, so it is my fault. But I generally had to sacrifice that because I had to get the video done. So I couldn't go on Saturday. And did I go? Yeah, I went Tuesday. Tuesday was okay. It was just a decent session, man. I said I hit another DARS the other week, which is good. Rolling with a lot of good guys, man. So it's good. I'm improving. I still feel like I'm plateauing to an extent. Like at least with my fundamentals, there's some elements which I just need to improve on for one. But equally, I just don't feel like everyone goes to that point within jiu-jitsu and maybe just martial arts in general where you feel like the improvements you get diminishing returns. I think that's a normal, natural progression of things. So, just pushing through that, I'm more savvy now. I'm much more defensively savvy, but something I need to work on is just stop playing on my back too much. Again, I play too much on my back, and I accept positions too much. I think that's probably my biggest flaw within training. Struggling with that question, but I want your top 10 unranked Ryzen prospects, bro. I don't know, man. Abhinav, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Welcome back, bro. Would you ever compete in amateur tournaments? Hell no. I've thought about competing at some point. Again, I haven't competed in a long time. But honestly, I don't need that stress in my life. I would stress about it way too much. And I like training, man. I'm a hobbyist, man. I like to work hard. I like to train hard. I like to get good rounds in. I like to make sure my session is earned, and I've earned that bit of water. I've earned the end of the session. I like to feel like that. I like working hard on the mats, but I'm not really I don't like competing too much. It's just not really for me. I just like training, having a laugh, and getting some good rounds in on a Tuesday night and a Saturday afternoon, man. That's me. Next vid should be a Joe Rogan doc so people can finally tell him and Dana apart. Yeah. Not a bad idea, Play on my back too much. Hey, you make it weird, man. Comes a point in everything you need to stop getting better and you need to search within and get past the plateau and keep going up. That's the plan, man. I'm trying. Again, my commitment could be better. As I said, sometimes I miss stuff. It is my fault due to just timings. I put myself in those positions, so it is my fault at the end of the day. I can work when I want to work. So if I have to make up those hours because I'm behind, it's on me. So, working to improve. But Tuesday I'll be back, and I am itching to get back on the mats, man. I need to I just need to work on my side control and mount. That's my biggest weakness in my game, is my top game position and controlling that. I'm improving, but I find myself getting pinged off too much, getting swept too easy. And to be honest, my sweeps aren't that great either. I need to work on my sweeps. But the reason I don't sweep a lot is because, as I said, I like playing on my back. I like looking for submissions off my back. So I end up being too content there. So I probably wouldn't do well in a comp. Does getting choked at BJJ give CTE? No, man, it's perfectly safe. I've never been put out cold ever since I started training. I've never been put to sleep. But at the end of the day, if I did, it would be my fault because I didn't tap. That's the reality. But no, even if you do go to sleep, as long as the choke isn't sustained for more than, a certain period of time, you'll be fine. And it's quite difficult to do that in itself because your arms tend to blow out. So it's pretty safe. I mean, getting choked unconscious is pretty fine. As long as they let go when you go to sleep, you just wake up and you'll just feel a bit dizzy and then you'll be fine. Perfectly safe, man. Time management is hardest skill in BJJ, MMA, life real. I've realized that. I tell you, as I've hit the age of 23, starting to realize that. I never feel like I have enough time for anything these days. But we're trying, man. We're trying. Mike, good to see you, brother. A long time not being here. It's all love, man. Don't worry about it. You never got to apologize. It's good to have you back. And thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. Worked hard on it. We did struggle with it, honestly. It probably could have taken less time if I didn't have. I mean, I was struggling a bit like the start of the other week. Obviously, I took 2 weeks to do it. The start of the other week, I was struggling quite a lot with lack of motivation and idea generation. It just wasn't really coming together for me. And that happens with the creative process. Sometimes you hit a wall, sometimes you hit a roadblock, and things just go that way. And that's how it was. But we pushed through, and I finally started to find my groove sort of midweek. This week gone, I really started to hit my groove and my stride. So we got it done. Now, that's not Unk stats, bro. Come now. Earn that money so you can spend it on a random bitch? No, hell no. Is it bad that I'm 13 on these streams? Nah, man. Not really. You do you, but like you can't control your age, bro. Just no weird shit. That goes from any of you. Best ranked fight you want to see? Unranked fight. Oof. I mean, I'll say the one on UFC London, Lonnie Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos. They're both unranked. Banger fight. But as I said, Lonnie Kavanagh, I think he could challenge for top 5 right now. I think he's that good. Obviously, you don't want to jump the gun with him because he is young and he is quite green in terms of his experience. But if we're talking his skill set, I think if you just watch the way he fights, you can really see how good he is. Very, very, very talented flyweight. So I could see him in the title picture within a couple years, 100%. Maybe even less because the flyweights aren't. It's not as deep as a division as it is in the sort of middle of the pack lightweights and featherweights. So there's a lot more wiggle room, and he can jump up the rankings quite quickly. So I like to see that fight. That would be good. If Makhachev defeats Ilya, Arman, JDM, and Shavkat, is he the GOAT? Honestly, it's up for debate. Yeah, you could very much debate that. I mean, you're talking about that resume. That would be an insane resume to have. Insane. So, I mean, unrealistic, but possible. I won't deny him that. He's a very good fighter. There's a reason he's the pound for pound #1 right now. It's for a very good reason, right? So, I mean, I would pick him against a couple of those guys. JDM, I think he'd beat. Shavkat, I think he'd beat. Arman and Ilya would be tougher, though. Van is a monster. Yeah, love Joshua Van. Big, big fan of his. Always have been. Big. I mean, it's just flyweights, man. They're just the funnest to watch, man. Is Tony retired? He's fighting in the GFL now, which is basically full of washed elderly fighters. I don't know, Leon. UFC is kind of uninteresting to me right now. I'm going to Leon's fight. But after that, I might take a break from the sport. Mate, it's fine, man. I've been there. I mean, I've never really been out and out of the sport. But I have, you know, I have, like, been ups and downs with MMA. That's how it is, man. It'll go through waves. You don't have to. I wouldn't say you have to take a break. I don't know how long you've been a UFC fan for before, but I don't watch as much MMA as I used to. And obviously, I'm in a different position because this is my job, so I have to temper how much I, consume with regards to MMA. Otherwise, I'll get burnt out. But as an MMA fan, I get tired of it. It happens, man. But then you go through cycles, or you just temper how much you watch. It's fine. I skip a lot of fight nights. It's no biggie, man. There's no expectations on you to watch anything. So, but if you are, as I said this earlier, I'm gonna be at the pop up, man. So if you're gonna be at Leon's fight, come to the pop up earlier in the day. I'll be there, bro. Come say hi. I know you mentioned it before. You might consider going, but if you do, bro, I'll be there. He's a goat already. I don't give a fuck. No, he's not. But I mean, you can say it with chest, sure. We're getting some content regarding 314. I don't know. Probably not. I might do. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do for my next video. So, other Maravas Zuma has been nothing worth seeing. I mean, Pereira Roundtree in recent memory, that was a good fight off the top of my head, and there's plenty more. Who's the target audience for your podcast? Any of you guys, really? I mean, it's for MMA fans and aspiring content creators. I mean, anyone, but I'd say those first. Let's say that. It's a very niche, it's almost just like his own thing. That's kind of what we were trying to hit. We're building our audience slowly. Obviously, we know the numbers aren't great, but that's fine. With the podcast, you just have to keep going, and that's what we're doing. Consistency is key. So I'm glad you're listening. I hope we can provide insight. I like to think we both seem agree that we provide a lot of insight on those, and really good nuggets of advice and information regarding starting content creation and just being within the MMA realm. We like to think we offer a lot of valuable info there. So I hope you take something from it. If the weather is good, I might roll into London on the Harley for the pop up, bro. I swear you're not even from England, man. Or am I wrong? Do you think you would walk out of a room if you were there in with John Jones? I don't know, man. Probably. I might just let your podcast keep you updated with UFC. That's all good, man. To be honest with you, though, we talk less about MMA now on the pod. We mostly just talk about the content creation grind and what we've been doing in that regard. So I guess indirectly we do talk about MMA, but we only really break down fight cards normally at the end of the pod for the last 15 minutes or so. We make the main focus we keep on content creation. So up in West Berkshire. Oh, fair enough, man. Yeah, pull up, bro. Why don't you? If the weather's good, nice little hop on the Harley, man. What's the weather saying for Saturday? Is it we got a weather forecast for next week? I hope it's good. I hope London weather is actually going to be good. Oh, it's raining, man. You hate to see it. Raining all day. I hope that changes. It might change. I'm gonna hold my breath on that. Fuck, that sucks, man. High chance of rain. Shit. Oh well. Oh well. Regardless, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there at the UFC London pop-up, man. It'd be great to see some of you, any of you. Dig out the jet ski. Yeah, why not? Drive through those floods if there is any. But yeah, I'm still looking at getting tickets for the card as well. I'm indifferent to it at this point. If I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. It's not the end of the world, man. I'm gonna, I'm blessed to be in the position I am. It's getting to go to that pop-up and just, off my free will with my free time, I can just make whenever I want to have it. I say that's all thanks to you. So thank you, truly. Also, Vittori, is he UFC caliber? I reckon one more L1 cut. How old is he now? He's no spring chicken, right? I mean, that's his first fight in a while, so I know people talk about ring rust and whether it's true. He's 31. Okay, I take it back. He's actually younger than I thought. I mean, how many fights he lost 2 in a row. I mean, he's fine, bro. No, he's not going to get cut, man. He's still a very big name. He's not fun to watch, I'll say that. He is fucking boring. Chin of iron, though. I'll always say that. The guy cannot be finished. Has he ever been finished, out of curiosity? No, he's never been finished. There you go. Chin of steel, man. Good to see you, Bush. Oh, that was you. My bad, Bush. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. How did Vittori get a title fight in the first place? Probably because Adesanya was cleaning house in that division. I mean, to his credit, he was on a 5-fight winning streak against some good names in there. Jack Manson, Kevin Holland. Actually, saying that, yeah, I mean, not great. But I mean, Adesanya at that time was beating everyone, man. So if I have an amateur MMA fight in the UK, will you corner me? I think you should probably get someone with more experience. But sure, why not? Maybe I can give some grappling insights, man. Not many, but some. I mean, I don't think any jiu-jitsu practitioner really knows what they're doing. I think that's the reality. Most people don't know, even black belts. They still feel like they don't know anything about the sport. It doesn't rain until 8 p.m. next Tuesday. Not on my forecast, man. On mine, it's saying London. It's saying it's raining all day next week. So on Saturday, make of that what you will, brother. Make of that what you will. Is he that time was beating everyone? There you go. Low key boring back in the back half of his run. I mean, it takes 2 to tango, man. I agree about the Vittori fight, but partially. The Cannoneer one, yeah, for sure. He could have done more. But the Whitaker fight was good. There's a joke about life. No one knows what they're doing, and we just pretend we do. Real, man. You're dropping some truth bombs up in here. Do I own a League of Shoes? No, I don't. I don't have anything in that brand. I'm still thinking we get Dustin versus Nate at 170. Maybe. I don't want it, though. I'd want Dustin versus Max. Give me that. Give me that as a retirement fight. In Louisiana. In Lafayette, man. Give me UFC Lafayette, man. Give me Dustin versus Max Holloway as a fight night main event. Run it. That would be a banger. Never trust the forecast? What? The people controlling the weather? Is that your conspiracy? Or to be fair, it does sometimes they are wrong. The forecast is wrong. Please no, I can never sit for another boring Diaz fight again. Nah, Diaz fights are fun. Diaz said all current fighters are bums. Do I disagree with them? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, they live in. I don't know if they believe what they say, but somehow I think they do. I don't know if it's a CTE kicking in, but he said he beat Kamaru Usman back when he was the champ. So, I take a lot of things. In fact, I take 90% of things Nate Diaz says with a complete grain of salt. So, have I listened to Carti's new album? No, I haven't, man. I've heard it's kind of arse. I'm not really into to rap, to be honest with you. It's not really my kind of shit, personally. I know that's a bit of a broad blanket statement. Like some shit I listen to, but it's just generally not my kind of music. And to be honest, I'm waiting for this new Kudeka album to drop, man. It's dropping. I think a single's dropping in like a week, maybe even less than that. A single's dropping this month, and I'm fucking hyped as shit because a snippet got leaked, and it is so good, man. It's so fucking good. I don't know if I actually. I think I probably could play it without getting copyright because I don't think his stuff is owned by a label. I think he owns it and he allows people to use it. But I don't want to play it just in case. But it is a banger if you can find it. Do I fuck with Sleep Token? Isn't it one guy? I know a lot of my flatmates at uni were obsessed with him last year, but I didn't really. He's got some interesting sound, but it's not my kind of shit. But I do. I respect what he does. If it's isn't it one dude? Or am I wrong? Does Prime Nate run through current top 5 lightweight? Hell no. Of course he doesn't. Nate's last good fight was against when he beat Connor. The Tony fight was just sad. Yeah. Navigator? No, it's not, brother. Vitality, what's up, bro? Who wins in their prime, McGregor or John Jones? I mean, obviously John Jones because McGregor's like 5'9" and John Jones is, now fighting at heavyweight. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. I'm assuming by your name you're a content creator as well, right, my man? How's that going? Sleep Token is like 2 main writers with a full live band. I did not know that. I thought it was just one dude. Fair enough. Got interesting sound. Or they, rather. It's not really my kind of music, but, I can always appreciate it even if I don't listen to it. Same with, a lot of rap and hip-hop and shit. BJ thinks his mum is a fake. Your thoughts? Yeah, I've seen that. CTE really kicking in. Someone needs to check up on him and before he does something bad. Try Mighty Mouse or Brock Lesnar. I'm going to Mighty Mouse. Fuck it. That's my go. Pointless Overthinker. That is a name I can very much relate to, my man. Good to see you. Is your opinion, who is the GOAT of the lightweight division? It's Makhachev, man. It's not even up for debate no more. Not even up for debate. I mean, Wolf, yeah, you're saying the same thing, man. He's fucked up, bro. He's fucked up. I mean, I obviously partially brought on by fighting. His Instagram is an absolute shit show if you haven't seen it. I feel for his mother, and someone needs to make sure she's okay because I feel like he just might do something crazy. Would not surprise me in the slightest, man. I don't know. It's scary, man. It's pretty scary. People saying he's on meth, it wouldn't surprise me either. Got to respect the theory. It took him years to make it up. I mean, he believes it, man. He's obviously got he's going, psychotic or in some capacity. I don't know. He's got some sort of mental illness. I hope he's okay, man. What happened with BJ Penn? Bro, take one look at his Instagram and there's your answer. The guy is tweaking. He basically thinks his mum has been killed or something and replaced by a sort of doppelganger. Who's stealing her money and her like all of her shit. When it's clearly just his mum and he's tweaking out. I really, really do not want to see him on the tier list of MMA fighters turned murderers. I know, right? He would be the most high profile one for sure. CT has kicked in pretty badly. Getting hit in the head repeatedly changes a man. Yeah, I mean, this was always the big question, right? Within MMA, because the damage is spread out across your body, there is the argument that fighters, generally speaking, will be in a much better position than boxers because they take way less shots. Especially less shots when concussed because when you can't stop fighting, the fight's over, unlike in boxing. And there is definitely truth to that. But I feel like now, because the UFC and MMA as a sort of overall sport is much newer, we haven't really seen the exact long-term effects yet. So now we're starting to see them kick in. So still, jury's out on that one. But, I don't think there's really a right or wrong answer. It's very much a spectrum of results. So regardless, it's scary. And it's the price of it. It's the price you pay, isn't it? Do you think Max would have been knocked out if the CIA didn't get involved? Who are you referring to? I'm confused. Oh, I got you. Yeah, cool. Took me a minute. Yeah, more BJ Penn conspiracies. No, I think he would have done. Crazy a year ago, Jerry gave him a platform. Yeah. Bumble the woman hating regime. In what capacity, bro? What the hell? When he got slept in that car park a few years ago. Yeah, outside a bar, right? His head landed on the back of the concrete. No doubt that did a lot of damage. I mean, that's happened to me before. Not from a fight. But back in school, I had a head-to-head collision and then smashed my head on the concrete. And I was tripping balls, man. I had an insane concussion. I was only like 11. I started out levitating. That's what I could see, man. It was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. Then I lost feeling in my hand. I was throwing up everywhere. I had a really, really bad concussion, and I didn't even go to hospital for it because the school were dumb as fuck. But I was only I was 10 at the time, 10, 11. So, I mean, I feel like I'm all right now. Maybe not. I'm a fucking MMA YouTuber. Maybe this is why I'm doing this shit. Why am I? That fucked me up so bad. I ended up becoming a fucking YouTuber, bro. Jesus. But yeah, I had a really bad. Yeah, it was really bad when I was a kid. Yeah, it was. I honestly crazy. I was like hallucinating some crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. It was insane. Yeah, weirdest feeling thing I've ever gone through ever to this day. Same with vaping and cigarettes. Hasn't been around for that much time. I mean, cigarettes have. Vaping, no. I agree. I mean, I don't do either, thankfully, and I never will. But here we are. That explains it all. Thank you for telling us. Got you, bro. Longer term effects of power slap, probably along the same lines, man. Also taking mushrooms before rolling, never tried it. I never tried that. I know I've thought about smoking before rolling, but I don't. I just like being sober, man. To be honest with you. Thoughts, likes, shares, and prayers got to BJ Penn's mum. Speaking of that, like the stream. Do it for if you're not gonna do it for me, do it for BJ Penn's mum. All right, do it for BJ Penn's mum. Like the stream. Do it for her. I'm sure she knows. Sure she cares. Fucking hell. Oh my god, my mouth is drying out so fucking much, man. Sometimes all I want to do is play some Counter-Strike surfing. Sometimes that's what I want to do. That's some chill shit right there. Every like moves BJ Penn's mum 1 inch closer to escape. Yeah, and puts BJ Penn 1 inch closer into a mental hospital. The way Leo Cooper gaslights his audience is so tough. Glad. I'm doing my best. Smoking and rolling is nice. I always just close my eyes on the ground and just feel it out. I mean, no, that's a good point. I feel like what I'd realized if I did that is how much I sometimes remind myself of this is how much jiu-jitsu is so much of just feel rather than sight. I mean, it really is. Like you can roll with your eyes closed, man, and you just know what you're doing because you can just feel everything. I get that even when I'm sober. Sometimes I don't think about it when I'm rolling, but afterwards I sit there and I'm like, wow, yeah, it's so much less my eyes. You know, I'm not really looking, I'm feeling. And it's almost down to a sixth sense as well. There's almost like the sixth sense comes in when you're rolling, right? I think that's what makes it such a magical sport, man. It just unlocks a different mental side of you that you just would never utilize until you're sparring. Something about it, man. You know, maybe I'm romanticizing it a bit, but I think you wouldn't. If you guys, any of you train and you roll, you'll know exactly what I mean. There's something special about it. Unless you're rolling with a guy who's got 20 kilos on you and did wrestling back in school. Then I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm thinking about not dying. You ever wish you were a kid again? Not really. I mean, partially. I wish I didn't have to worry about the stresses of being an adult. I didn't realize being an adult would be this fucking difficult. I'm gonna be real. I'm always stressed all the time. I wasn't as a kid. Maybe I was. It was just about way less significant stuff. But it's all relative, right? So I don't know. Maybe yeah, partially, sure, but also, you know, I like being an adult. I like being me. I wouldn't want to be a kid again. No. You feel something poking you behind? Don't know about that one, man. My sister's cousin does BJJ and he's already a purple belt. It took him 13 years and only had one accident in his pants are rolling. Fair enough. 13 years to get a purple belt. Fair enough. I mean, that's a long time, but I feel like there's no disrespect to it because everyone's journey is different. I mean, only train Nogi, so by all accounts, I'm still a no stripe white belt, you know? I should pick up a gi, but have you played Outlast before? Yeah, I have, man. First one's a classic. And I started the second one, but it got kind of backlogged for me and I never got around to finishing it. So I might give it a crack again at some point soon. But I like the first one. And I haven't played Outlast Trials, though. What have you even been playing recently? I don't even know. A lot of Counter-Strike. I've been getting back into Counter-Strike a lot recently. Um, you know how it is. It's a cycle with CS. Love-hate relationship. That's how it is. Okay, where are we at? I just lost my stream chat. Sorry, I had to type that in. Would Red Dead 2 be an amazing movie? I mean, no, it'd be pointless, bro. Why would you? Like, I'm sure they can make it good, but it will never be as good as the game, and you do not need to make it. Like, it's the thing about games, right? It's such a powerful medium that allows you to do things which no other medium can. Film can't do it. TV, same thing, can't do it. Music can't even do it. But games is a medium where there's that level of interactivity and connection to a consumer, a player that you can't get anywhere else. And trying to translate that's why most adaptations into movies from games kind of suck because one, the people who make them don't understand what makes gaming so powerful or makes gaming stories so incredible. Um, and two, just because it doesn't translate as well fundamentally, because a game is a game and it should be a game, not anything else, in my opinion. Again, there are exceptions to the rule, but no, I don't think it would be good. Rather Nogi stuff, it just felt wrong, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean. Trying to get into Kingdom Come 2, man, it's tough going in the start. I mean, that was the same as the first one. And I like the first one. I haven't played the second. I will. Let's sell. Gaming is great, man. It's such a beautiful art form, man. I feel like people don't really treat it as that sometimes. They just treat it as a some people who don't play games at all treat it as a waste of time, as a sort of, poisonous thing. And some people who even play them don't even treat it as the beautiful art form that it really is. So, I like to remind myself and other people as well, of course, how beautiful games can be and how incredible of a fucking medium it is. I feel like people forget that. Yeah, shut the fuck up, bro. Love to you as well, though. I agree. It's hard to make games into movies, but if you get the right director, you can. I mean, it's more than that, man. And the writers are the main problem, in my opinion. If any game, Red Dead 2 would be the game. Maybe. Took a pic with Hamza. Cool. Isn't anything a waste of time? No, it's all subjective. All subjective. Subjective. I mean, there's so many beautiful games out there. I mean, I've recorded the Subnautica video. I didn't have time to edit this week. I'll probably do that this week. But that game is so beautiful, man. That's such a great, great game, man. Gaming's more than chill, man. Yes, it can be, but it's the stories, man. And actually making games, bro. It's such a fucking difficult challenge. It's actually a miracle that games even get made, man. I wish some of you knew. Because obviously after doing it at university and doing game design and just knowing how the industry operates, man, there's so much effort. The reason they're so expensive is because they take so much time. They are such incredible things, and the amount of work that goes into them is incredible. So before you go and slander your favorite game studio or dev because the game's not to your liking, remember how difficult it is to do them and the people that are making them, the people behind it. Love Forza. I'm indifferent to it. I do like racing games, but they're not my first pick. But I like Forza. Do I think could beat Speed in a fight? Yeah, probably. But he's fucking athletic, so I don't know. Detroit Become Human is insane. Yeah, I like that game a lot. Big fan of Detroit. Big fan. I'm not cinematic games I can take or leave, but I do like Detroit a lot. Good. It's fun. Kind of fucked it up though. You ever look into a map of Europe and think I need to conquer it? I look at YouTube and I think I need to conquer it. Not Europe though. I'm not really a dictator per se. I'm not really looking at global domination. Unless it's on the internet, then I fucking am. I bought a PC a few months ago. Welcome aboard, man. I actually just picked up a Steam Deck. I bought a Steam Deck this week, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. I'm kind of hyped to use that because I can just transform my Steam library. I'm gonna get emulate. I want to get some emulators on there. I want to emulate loads of DS games. Have my Steam library on there. All of that shit. It'll be like a little portable PC. That'd be awesome. So I'm excited when that arrives. I'm gonna get to using that. It'll be a chill thing. These would be upset. Really? Wasn't it his birthday yesterday or today? Something like that, right? Pretty on cue there, I suppose. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on Steam Deck. It's a madness. Yeah, I mean, you can play anything on Steam Deck technically, man. But it's just a matter of how it runs. But I did see some benchmarks. It doesn't look. It's like 40 FPS. It's like not too bad. If only my jailbroken PS3 could emulate Wii games. Yeah. I mean, like, hell, you can emulate Switch games on the Steam Deck if you get it set up. Pretty fucking awesome. Death Day, he died. Ah, there you go. 2,050 years ago. Fucking hell. 2050. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Stabbed to death, wasn't he? Assassinated, just like most of them. How it be, man. Yeah, 15th of March. So yesterday. 44 BC. Fair fucks. Travis Hotel you stayed in? I don't even know, man. I don't think I've ever been in a really bad one. Rip the goat, you mind me about that? Thanks. Fuck. Fair enough. Jesus the goat. Sounds like a good fella. Didn't know him personally. Yeah, nah. He went to a different school. Julius, Shout out Format MMA. They're the news channel, right? How many people run that channel? Because they upload an insane amount. I mean, I don't ever watch them, to be honest with you, just because I don't really keep up with MMA news too much. I mean, they're killing it though. But they AI, are they? No, they're not, man. I've never watched their stuff. There's no way they're AI. They actually? I'm looking at it now. Nah, it's not AI. It's not AI. That's not AI, man. That's just that's a recording. I don't think that's AI. I can tell when it's AI. I could again. I hope I'm right. Um, but it doesn't look like it's AI to me. So I'm just checking the analytics on my video. Okay, it's not doing stellar, but we keep going. It's AI. It's AI. Doing fine. It's doing not doing bad. Pub chat so fast as a content machine. Yeah, there's probably a group of people behind it. There's a lot of channels like that, man. A lot of channels like that. You got any tattoos? No, but I thought about. I've been thinking about getting one. But if I did, as I said, it would have to be. Actually, we spoke about this on the podcast on the in studio episode. We touched on it very briefly. Weirdly, as you say that. I've thought about getting a small one, but it would have to be something very sentimental. I don't know what that would be. I don't really, as sad as it is, I don't really care about a lot that I would get a tattoo of it. Does that make sense? And I don't know. I mean, that's not necessarily true. I'd like to get something to do with skydiving, to be honest with you, because that's probably the best thing I've ever done ever. It was on my bucket list for a long time, and it was a very special moment for me doing that. Like I always say, the 40 seconds of free fall, probably the only time in my life where I felt completely at peace and calm with everything ever. It's a weird feeling. Like I've never felt anything like that ever. I've never felt that level of just complete equilibrium and balance and just as ironic as that is when you're bombing it through the sky at however many miles an hour, it's quite a weird thing. Um, but yeah, it was just perfect. It was the best. So I would probably get something to do with that. Got back tat, size of Lamelo. That bait? Oh, it sounds like a bait name. Oh, is he a basketball player? I mean, I don't think I could rock a back tat if I'm gonna be real with you, man. Becoming a bigger thing I noticed all over YouTube. There'll be news channels for gaming and MMA that make 2 videos a day and have the same voice. I don't think they're real. There's a lot of them like that, man. Like a lot of there's a lot of just channels run by, I mean, sort of similar content to me, but they're just run by a group of people. They're like sort of automated. A lot of the stuff is outsourced, so there's no soul in any of these videos. You can tell. Not all tattoos must have a deep meaning. Just get something you think looks cool. No, but I know some people like to do that. I personally don't. For me, it would be a very much important thing. I wanted, it's there's preferences, right? Like, I wouldn't just get a giant shark on my arm because it looked cool. Like, that's just not my sort of thing. So, yeah, each to their own, though. But yeah, I'd probably get something to do with skydiving or maybe like a cloud or something. I don't know. But it would only be small. Like, full max, they interact with the comments. I mean, every YouTuber should, to an extent. Annoys me because they're just people in Denmark hiring people in Pakistan. Listen, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing to an extent, but when you make it your sole purpose just to basically not do any of the work at all and basically just try and do it to make more money, I don't like it because there's no soul in the videos. You can tell. Anytime you outsource every element of the video, it's very easy to tell. At least as a creator, it is to me. Maybe not to other people, but obviously as someone who creates content for a living, it's easy to tell when a content has no soul, it's not made with any sort of passion. It's everything, the script, the editing, everything's outsourced. It's very easy to tell. You ever feel disrespected by Will, your co-host? No, why'd you say that? No, not at all. We push each other. He's doing very well. He's his work ethic. I'd never met someone with his work ethic. So, you know, I mean, what makes you say that? I'm curious, or is it just a random question? Watch a video about a person who went to a rabbit hole and they pretend like it's ran by one guy. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. That's what they do. That means that one day a few years back, I paid to be stabbed for a couple of hours, and now I have a permanent drawing on me. I mean, true. So full mount is outsourced. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, for that output, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Pisses me off because I like going to local stores more than McDonald's. Yeah, good analogy. I mean, I do everything myself. I mean, the only time I've ever outsourced anything was when I outsourced one PNG for a thumbnail, which I needed specifically. Not even to make, I use it to make the thumbnail, so it wasn't actually the thumbnail itself. And another thing was I outsourced the thumbnail, which I didn't even end up using anyway because I didn't like it that much. So that's it ever. Everything else I've always done myself. So no AI, nothing.
Actually, I do use AI, but the only time I do use AI is for idea inspiration, not for actual creation of content. That's where I think it's healthy to use for planning, structuring. I like using it to structure my scripts, in terms of giving me chapter inspirations and ideas. And sometimes I take inspiration from those. But no, everything I write is 100% me, completely. Everything I write, record, and edit is all me, and thumbnails as well. But come across a video with AI voice, I delete my watch history and hit don't recommend channel. Valid. Have you got an editor? That's one thing. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Don't use AI translation. Yes, that technically I do, but I don't run those channels. I don't control them. And that's a more of a different thing because the content is still me. It's still very much mine. So again, I understand what you're saying, and I am partially in. I'm very much here and there with it. Um, in terms of my feelings towards it, but I understand what you're saying. But I like to think because it is still my video, everything else is still me. The script is still me. It's just localized over a different language. And the editing, of course, is still me, and the whole video is still me. So I like to think it's a bit of a better use for it, rather than just like I would never do AI scripts from scratch. I would never do any of that. Like that's just awful, and it completely kills the soul of the video. I do have people accuse. I've had a couple of people accuse my video of being AI, which is quite funny. I don't. I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment or a negative thing, but okay, right, fair enough. AI will be the downfall of humanity. It's inevitable, my man. Listen, you may as well embrace it in some capacity. That's what I've realized at this point. I don't particularly like it, but it's not going anywhere, and you're only putting yourself at a disadvantage by not using it. Again, there is a line, right? That's what I'm saying. I sit further back than the line than a lot of people in this content creation game. I use it. I like to think ethically. George, you'll never know. You'll never know, my man. But anyway, guys, I am gonna have to love you and leave you. I've got some other stuff to record, just little things, and I got some actually some people I got to go and help out. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good morning, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world. As Dustin Poirier would, of course, say, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you on Thursday stream. Podcast will be dropping tomorrow. Thank you, truly. Thank you for being everybody. See you soon.